The brutally honest reason why most people can't start flipping houses, even after buying thousands in courses.
I'm sharing a secret that I shared with the stuck investor, and that secret's what helped us flip 177 houses in just 1 year. So I got asked again.
Again?
Okay. How to start? How do I start? You remember that last investor meeting we went to, and that lady has been there like every single month, and she's bought all the programs? She still doesn't know how to start.
And what did you tell her?
I told her she needed to start with why. Because her why's not big enough. You get into action when you have a solid why.
Yeah. A why that's unshakable, a why that you can't help but achieve.
I think everything's easy to do and easy not to do. And so for real estate investing, it's kind of like there's just so many different things to learn. Right. I'm having the same experience now with YouTube. Like, how in the world do you do this YouTube thing? Daily, every day. Like, I'm driving places, I'm listening to podcasts. I'm not watching any sitcoms at night because I'm watching YouTube videos about how to do YouTube. I know a lot of ideas about how to do it.
Right.
Execution is key, though. So how does one start? So I told her the first thing she needed to do was sit down and create a why that was big enough to get her into action. Then I told her to give herself permission to dream. Do you know how many people don't dream?
I know it was something I struggled with myself.
It's hard to see.
It is.
Something bigger. For some people, it comes naturally.
Right.
And for some people, they can't see it at all. So it's really taking the time to sit down and say, why does this matter? For me, it was, I wanted to be there for my kids. I grew up with a single mom, and I didn't want my kids to have the same experience with me, not being there for them. And then when the big fear occurred where I became a single mom, I had already set this foundation up. And then that was when we were building Superior. We're 6 months in? And then I had full custody of a 2-year-old and 4-year-old.
Yep.
And like, oh, okay, we're building a business and raising small children who aren't school age yet. But I didn't have to take them to childcare.
Right.
I didn't have to pay somebody else to watch them while I wasn't home. I didn't have to leave 80 hours a week.
That was my why. After working 80, 90 hours a week for years, not being able to participate with my family, to see my friends. I missed the birth of my godson. Things like that.
I missed my grandma's funeral.
Yeah, because I was so stuck into my job.
Yeah.
So that was my why. I didn't want to ever have that experience again. Now I go to soccer games and choir concerts and all the things. It's amazing.
All my children are way too involved in all the things, but I'm at every single one of them.
You know what? And that's it. That's it right there. It doesn't have to be anything flashy. It can be just about people you care about. And that's a big enough why.
Otherwise, when the obstacles come up, which they will, and when the unknowns come up, which they will, or when you have to drive yourself to learn, which you will, it's too hard to push through. It's easier just to go work for somebody else and be told what to do.
Yep.
So I think the first thing, the most critical thing, is figuring out your why.
Absolutely.
And once you figure out the why, give yourself the permission to dream. Like, okay, so now what? So what, now what? Because the why happens. If you're consistent, success will always follow.
Absolutely.
I learned that in Taekwondo. My goal wasn't to get a black belt. My goal was to show up. And eventually the black belt happened.
Right.
And then I'd say the next thing to do is determine what you really need.
Yeah.
Most people don't take the time. They have all these wishes. Like, I wish I could. I wish I had. I wish I could go to, I don't know. I wish I could take a cruise. Okay. Well, how much does it cost? Well, I don't know.
Vision is incredibly important to what it is that you want to do. Because the vision is your why, but it goes nowhere if you have nothing structured to base it on.
Well, if you don't know what it costs, then how are you ever going to get it? If you don't do the research, if you don't know how to make it happen, how do you make it happen? It just becomes this dream, pie in the sky, that someday maybe I'll have that thing.
Yep.
No, you won't. You don't know how to get it. You don't know what it costs. And I think a lot of people, when they actually do this activity and figure out what it really costs, they realize they can have a lot of what they want right now. And they didn't realize they could already have it.
Absolutely.
It's unbelievable how obtainable some of our wildest dreams are. And I think putting that down on paper and putting a number to it creates the beginning of a plan of execution so that you can support your why and then have this like awesome reward.
Yeah. Goals should always be specific.
Yes.
Because it gives you an actual target. I want to make oodles of money.
For why?
What? Yeah. Why?
Why?
What is oodles of money to you?
How much?
$1 million, $10 million, $1 billion? Do you want to be,
And what are you going to do with it? Because $1 million with nowhere to go is worthless. But if you know what that $1 million is going for, now you have a why.
Money itself is not a goal. Money is a facilitator to a goal.
It's an energy source.
Absolutely.
So the next thing, what I usually do is I tell people to figure out and determine what they need to fulfill their dream life.
Yeah.
So if you sit down and say, hey, I want a Lamborghini. Cool. How much is a Lamborghini? Well, I don't know. Well, go figure it out. What does it cost a month to have a Lamborghini and maintain it and take care of it and clean it and all the things?
And insure it.
Figure out what it actually costs to have that thing and figure out your whole dream life.
Yeah.
And then what does that dream life cost on a monthly basis? Is it a $10,000 a month dream life? Is it a $100,000 a month dream life?
Yeah.
Figure that out. Because then it's just math.
Right.
And now you know what your dream life costs. Now you know what it's going to take. So in real estate, it's super easy. I always ran with $5,000 a month net profit per house, which is super conservative.
Incredibly.
But that gives room for all the things that you don't expect. That gives room for the losses on occasion. Hopefully we'll help people not have those losses.
Yeah.
But even we had 2 houses that were negative.
Unfortunately, it's a risk of the entire
model.
Yeah.
So if you bake in your losses, so either way, I go with $5,000 because it's just super easy, regardless of whether you're wholesaling or flipping or whenever, you can pretty much bank on $5,000 net profit. So if you take that, you take your current net income and you divide it by $5,000, now you know how many houses you need per month to replace your current income. So if you're making $5,000 a month currently, you need 1 house a month. If your dream life is $20,000 a month, you need 4 houses a month. 4 houses a month, John.
Yep.
We've done 177 in a year. I don't know how many that is a month. More than 10. It's actually easy once you figure out how to put the system in place. Once you have your dream amount and how many houses you have to get to per month, here's the difficult part, is most people start out and they're like, okay, well, I need 4 houses a month. So I'm going to start at 4 houses a month, 4 houses a month, 4 houses a month. But that's not how it works when you start. When you start with 1 house. And it might take you 2 more months to get to house number 2. So you might be at half a house a month. But once you get the system in place, it's super easy to ramp up. So it's an exponential growth curve. So we gave them the formula here. So by today's date in 1 year, what is the average pace of homes you want under contract in a month? So if you have that $20,000 a month dream life, you need 4 houses under contract a month from today's date 1 year from now, which means by when do you want your first home under contract? Now that depends on their current skill level. If they're already operating in this space, they could probably cut that down to 6 months from now. If they've never participated in real estate before, I usually say give yourself 6 months to learn it, study it, practice it, screw it up, get a house under contract. But if you're brand new, then let's go first house is under contract 6 months from now. And then 1 month after that, how many more homes under contract? 1 month after that, how many more homes under contract? 1 month after that, how many more homes under contract? Now, those homes under contract is if we're building to 4 a month, first month you want the first month where the home is under contract, you want 1. Second month, you want maybe 1 more. There, 2 homes.
Yep.
Third month, maybe 1 more. There are 3 homes that month. Maybe it's just add 1 home a month. And now I'm not saying put only 1 home under contract, 1 additional home. So really that's how to start. First, you build the plan. And here's how you build the plan. How much money do you need? How much money do you want? What's it going to take to get that money? Here's a quick calculation. Use that to start. And then once you actually have your solidified numbers, you can start dialing that plan in to something that's more realistic and accurate for you. Because it might be $20,000 of profit a month for one house, which is not abnormal. But I always go conservative. And you have houses fall under contract or fall out of contract and all those things that occur. So where your funnel of houses coming in, you want to make sure you have enough coming in to sustain.
So, in summary, figure out your unshakable why. Figure out what this means to you and then determine what your goal is, the plan to achieve your dream.
And don't forget to like and subscribe and follow the link below to join our community and receive a detailed step-by-step guide on how to flip foreclosures.